Umar, you disrespect my country. You don't let me into UFCPI. I need to train, take care of my injuries. I will make you pay in the UFC Octagon.
Merab Dvalishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov, the co-main event of UFC 311. My prediction for this fight in this video. Hello and welcome to Bloodsport MMA.
Assalamu alaikum.
In my opinion, a matchup made in heaven. Umar Nurmagomedov, cousin of Khabib Nurmagomedov, gets his first ever chance at a title shot against the kind of not beatable at the moment Merab Dvalishvili at UFC 311 in the co-main event, right? And this is a fight that has some history because first Merab didn't want to give Umar a title shot. Umar was screaming on all platforms about the title shot. Most of the MMA community wanted that title shot to go to Umar, even though you can argue about his strength of schedule, but by beating Corey, he definitely deserves the title shot, at least in my opinion. He did not deserve that Corey fight in my opinion, but he deserves the title shot now that he beat Corey. They are finally fighting and they have some beef as well involved, which always makes the fight more fun, right? This makes it even more fun to watch if those two guys don't like each other and have a real beef. And even if they would not have a beef, this fight is so much fun because they are both so good in what they do, and I feel like they are not a mirror image of each other like Arman and Islam, but they do cancel each other out somehow, and they both have never faced anyone that fights like the other one, you know what I mean? It will be so interesting to see, and I'm really hyped to see that fight. Honestly, like I am more hyped than you can imagine to see those two fight and to see how it plays out, because of course I'm doing a prediction video now, but I don't know how this fight will play out because there are so many uncertainties there. But I will just give you my prediction, what I think will happen, right? And what I think will happen is, look.
Here's the thing, you guys.
Merab Dvalishvili seems unstoppable at the moment. I mean, every fight, and I like Merab, even though he gets on my nerves a lot of time, I like him. I've been a supporter of him since he won on that Dana White looking for a fight. But I oftentimes picked against him recently, just because I always felt like he's not that good. Like, it's like Dricus du Plessis, he's not supposed to win those fights. His striking is not really good. He just rushes into you with not even like technical, beautiful, like a beautiful double leg. It's just nasty and grueling, and it works. It just works. Everything he does works, whether it's in the striking or in the grappling. Reminds me a little bit of Belal. It just works. Or Dricus du Plessis, it just works, right? So what could make you think that this won't work against Umar? Now, I would not be insanely surprised if Merab is able to implement his game on Umar. But I just think that, look, Merab lives from his wrestling, right? And yes, he out-wrestled the Olympian, but MMA wrestling is just different than freestyle Olympic wrestling on a flat mat without, flat mat, so smart, without a cage and stuff, without punches and everything. But that's exactly what Umar is good at. Umar is a striker that obviously learned how to grapple as well because he's from Dagestan, he's a Nurmagomedov, right? He has it in his blood. But he's not a freestyle wrestler. He learned to wrestle in an MMA setting, which is much better than just learning to wrestle from scratch in the freestyle wrestling segment and then transitioning into MMA. It also works, but it's always better, of course, to learn the wrestling with the MMA kind of scenario with the cage and everything from the ground up, right? And that's what he did. So I think Merab, even if he gets Umar down, I think Merab will get Umar down because Merab gets everyone down, but I don't know if he can hold him down. I think Umar is just so slick on the ground, even though it's not his specialty, but I think he's slick enough to not get into any danger with Merab down there. I do think that Merab will be able to take Umar down, but Umar will be able eventually to stand up. I don't think he will reverse him and like dominate him on the ground, but I do think he will be able to get up, which is all he needs. And that's where I do believe Umar can win that fight, because Umar is by far the better striker. Umar is a phenomenal striker. People forget that. Yeah, he's a Nurmagomedov, but that does not mean that he's a grappler. He's a striker that can grapple very well. He's a striker. He has beautiful kicks, and I do believe that's a great weapon against Merab. Because Merab likes to rush in with his hands down and likes to get caught with left hooks as well, which is definitely something that is there all night. Also, the right hook, no, I think left hook was against Henry Cejudo and against Marlon Moraes, which is there all night for Umar, right? Also the hack kicks and stuff. I do think Umar will hurt Merab as well in that fight. The only thing that I'm kind of skeptic is Umar gets to the title shot by defeating Corey and otherwise no one. Like, look at his strength of schedule. The guys that he beat, if you're not the MMA freak, you have no idea who they are. And even if you know who they are not that good. The people that he beat are not that good. Maybe they were good at some time, but at the time he faced them, they were not that good. And he nearly got knocked out against this Almabayev or whatever his name was.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Just before Corey Sandhagen. Whilst Merab was facing Piotr Jan, Jose Aldo, Marlon Moraes, Sean O'Malley, Henry Cejudo. I mean, if you just look at the strength of schedule, you think Merab will slaughter him. And I do think that's a possibility that experience edge will win Merab that fight. So I would definitely not say 100% Merab loses that fight, but my stomach tells me, and I love to listen to my stomach with those predictions, because no one knows, we can only guess, is that Umar will just be too much for Merab on the feet, and that Merab, even though he will get Umar down, won't be able to really do anything significant down there that will change the course of the fight. And for that, I do think that Umar wins that fight by decision, because Merab is just so tough. Like, to finish Merab, that would be crazy. That would be a statement for Umar. But at this stage of his career, I don't know if Umar has the tools to finish a guy like Merab, who is just a freaking beast, a machine, like his nickname says, right? But I do believe over the 5 rounds, he will not win every round, but I would say he wins like 3-2 rounds. Like the first 2 rounds and the 4th maybe he wins. And the 3rd and the 5th, that's just a random guess of me, he loses. And he will beat Merab by unanimous decision, and it will be a great fun fight. I do believe this will be a very fun fight for real MMA fans that like the grappling aspect as well to watch. But this is my somewhat unsure but still sure prediction for this fight. Umar Nurmagomedov by unanimous decision after 5 rounds. What is your prediction for that fight? Write in the comments, you guys. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this channel, I would appreciate that. Make sure to check out the Bloodsport merch, bloodshop.net, pieces like that, so many cool pieces, check them out. Worldwide free shipping with the code FREE. Stay bloody, you guys, and until the next one, bye bye. Bloodsport out.